How we doing? How we doing? This is Destination Denver, Colorado, and today we're here to talk about one of my favorite suburbs, living in Parker, Colorado. 10 reasons to explore and move there. We're starting right now. All right, this is Destination Denver, Colorado. I'm your host, Jimmy Everett, and listen, if you're interested in learning all the ins and outs, pros and cons to moving to or around Denver, Colorado, then this is a channel for you. So make sure to click that subscribe button, as well as that notification icon, as I'm dropping new videos for you each and every week. And as much as I love creating a little content here for you, I'm also a licensed mortgage broker covering the entire state of Colorado and team with some of Denver's most talented realtors. So the number and email popping up on your screen, know that I'm always the person answering your phone calls, answering your texts, answering your emails, there when and if you need me. Now that we have that fun-filled stuff out of the way, let's dive into what we're here for, and that is living in Parker, Colorado. 10 reasons to explore and move there. All right, so maybe not a reason, but point number one we're going to talk about is a map. So Parker, Colorado is located roughly 45 minutes southeast of Denver. Geographically speaking, it's not that far away. The reason that the drive to Parker can sometimes take that 45 minutes or longer, depending on traffic, is because of how you have to get there. Typically, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take good old I-25, our north and south corridor highway. You're gonna take that south to E470. There are other options, but this is the primary. Over to E470, where you are going to go east, because thus we have to get southeast. And then you're eventually going to get to Parker Road, which Parker Road then leads you into Parker. And because you are on Parker Road so long, there are stretches of Parker Road that are 55 miles per hour. However, they also have traffic lights, and they also have a lot of people coming in and out of Parker. So while it's geographically close, that drive can be a ways out. So even though it's a ways away from Denver, what makes Parker so cool and such a great place to live? Well, first, you have to experience Parker any time of the year, but on a summer day, it's one of my absolute favorite places. And it's a good drive for me. It takes me easily 45 minutes to an hour to get over to Parker from where I am in Lakewood. But I like getting out to Parker because it just gives me a nostalgic feel. It's very green in the summertime, and Denver's not a city that gets a lot of green. We have like a yellowish tint to our green, but there's a lot of green. There's a lot of baseball fields and a lot of parks, kids playing, kids on their bikes. You've got a lot of, Parker used to be farmland. We'll talk about that, but there's, different horse corrals and just a lot going that gives you a community sense as soon as you get there. And I'll be transparent with you. I didn't know a lot about Parker before I started making these videos about a year and a half ago. And so as I started to get out there and explore Parker, each and every time I go out there, I enjoyed a bit more. That included today, before making this video, shot out there to get a little more video for us in it. And again, get out there, got a bite to eat, really enjoy the community and the people. Point number three, and I started to touch on it, and that is Parker is known for being farmland, and that's what it used to be. It's these rolling hills and was farmland. As it has become developed, and as you have this bustling suburb filled with detached homes, gorgeous homes, townhomes, community centers, because it's in the southeast part of town and because of the fact that it's considered farmland with these rolling hills, a lot of people are surprised by how gorgeous the mountain views can be from Parker, depending on where you are, and especially if you are on the top or kind of rolling down one of those hills as opposed to being on the back side of them. But as far as the views and as far as how pretty Parker is, it really is a nice community. And I am a little butthurt that some of the houses in Parker have better views of the mountains than I do in Lakewood when I'm so much closer to the mountains myself. What can I do? You can't have everything, right? The number 4 thing to talk about in Parker is affordability. Now, the affordability of Parker is starting to shrink. I will say this, it's not exactly the cheapest place to move to, nor would I stress to you, go to Parker, you'll be able to buy something cheaper. Because of its location, because of its distance from Denver and the fact that it was on the outskirts, for a long time you saw a lot of attention paid or people moving out to Parker for that affordability. Again, some of that drying up, but you're still going to find, on average, home prices can be a bit more reasonable out there. And of course, that's going to depend on what type of home you want to buy. Some homes more competitive than others, but also rent. We see some rent prices out there, and it helps if folks find some rent situations out there that were quite affordable. And guaranteed, anytime I talk about we found somebody a home to buy or a place to rent, somebody's going to comment and say, "Oh, I couldn't find a place for less than this." Depends on where you're looking and depends on what you want. The number 5 reason to check out Parker is Old Town Parker. And so Parker has a very quaint, I'm going to use the term quaint, downtown area. That was kind of where I got to today to hang out for a little bit, explore. I'd been down there a little while, but I just wanted to spend some more time, really walk around. Right around downtown is O'Brien Park, which is a great little area. And a big factor of Parker, and I don't want to jump from one to the other, but is their community events, and Old Town Parker is a big factor in that. And that's one of the things, I've mentioned this in other videos, me living and growing up in Lakewood. Lakewood doesn't have a downtown. It missed that characteristic. And so I really enjoy towns, and I think that it just adds something when you live in a town that has a little downtown. It doesn't have to be big by any means, but we talk about areas like Littleton, Arvada, Lafayette and Louisville, which are both northwest, and then you have a place like Parker where you get down there and you have that little downtown strip where you can walk around to different shops, and there's a park right there, and it just really gives you a better sense of community. That's at least in my opinion. The 6th reason to check out Parker, and I found this one interesting as I did more research on it, but Parker is rated number 4 for athletes as far as the state of Colorado. That's the entire state of Colorado. And that stemmed back to programs for athletes within the school system. So if you're trying to raise a little athlete, Parker might be a great place for you to check out. And overall, the school systems associated with Parker, according to multiple websites that I looked at, were ranked 17th statewide. So 17th in the entire state of Colorado. The 7th reason you want to check out Parker is some of the coolest neighborhoods, suburbs, divisions, I shouldn't say suburbs, Parker is a suburb, but divisions of homes within Parker. This will include Antelope Heights, Canterbury Crossing, a place that I actually found with my drone. I knew I was looking for it, but saw it with my drone, had to check it out further. You're gonna wanna take a look at Pine Bluffs, Horseshoe Ridge, a great place, and the Pinery. The Pinery, a very popular place, gorgeous homes, great place to look at. Their country club likes to keep calling me to see if I wanna advertise out there, and I'm just not sure that that's something I should do, but the Pinery and their country club, it's a great spot. And like I said, it's one of those communities where I like to talk about Parker and I like to talk about Broomfield for the same reason. You get into some of these neighborhoods and you start driving through, and there's all sorts of varieties of homes you can find. You can find just about anything you're looking for. Condos, townhomes, detached homes. But you get into some of these communities where the homes and the lot size, just the landscaping, everything about them, really some gorgeous areas, some gorgeous homes. And I like the plan behind it. It's one thing that I know I keep referring to other videos I've made, but again, growing up in an area in which the community wasn't necessarily planned the way that communities are planned today, I love the fact that these communities within Parker, they tie in their parks very well. Their neighborhood parks, their walking trails, their biking trails. They're different things that just give you that flow of a community. And it's an area where, as I mentioned at the very beginning of the video, especially on these sunny days where people are out and about, you just get a sense that people are always out and enjoying themselves. Who knows, maybe someday I'll move to Parker. No, my family's too busy in Lakewood, but that's all right. And I screwed myself up because that was number 8. I cheated and I got ahead of myself. But number 8 is the open spaces and the parks and the walking trails, because you can't go anywhere in Parker without seeing it. And one of my favorites is Salisbury Equestrian Park. Within that park, they have a ton of baseball fields, I told you about the horse corral, people, the equestrian ring. I'm saying wrong horse terms now. Someone's going to hit me for it. But an absolutely gorgeous place. It's kind of right in the middle of Parker. Definitely a place to check out. Man, especially on a nice summer day when it's warm out, sun's out, and there's just people everywhere. And number 9 is their community events. Of all the communities that I have reviewed, Parker is probably among the best, if not the best, at really doing a lot to bring community together and do just things as a town. It's the best description ever, right? Things as a town. So you have Parker Days, where they have a lot of different festivals. You have, they have their own Oktoberfest. They've got a trick or treat or trunk or treat event around Halloween. They've got music at Discovery Park. They've got art in the park. And they have a super cute Easter egg hunt, which, I don't know, my mother loves the movie Steel Magnolias, and for whatever reason, their Easter egg hunt reminds me of that. I don't know, Dolly Parton was in it, so you gotta give me some credit. And the number 10 reason to explore Parker is actually not a pro. It could be a con for you, and it's something that I mentioned early on because of its location. When you explore Parker, you need to make sure that you drive up and down Parker Road and that you get a feel for how you are going to get around. Because if there is a drawback, depending on where you work and what your commute might look like, getting in and out of Parker can be challenging. Depending on that traffic, definitely something you want to explore. And at the end of the day, if I'm gonna make a video with 10 reasons, I can't have all 10 reasons just be wonderful. But overall, as much as I joke, listen, if I were an east side of town person, and we always say I-25 kind of cuts Denver in half, yet, you know, the west side of I-25, east side of I-25, Parker being on the east side of I-25, definitely my favorite suburb, at least so far, on the east side of town, and one that I would certainly encourage anyone thinking about moving to Denver to check out. But hey, if you want to discuss more, you want to have a little East Coast, West Coast battle, Biggie versus Tupac, that's a perfect time to hit me up. The phone number and email popping up on your screen. Know that I'm always the person. Answer your phone calls, answer your texts, answer your emails, there when and if you need me. This is Destination Denver, Colorado. I am your host, Jimmy Everts. That was Living in Parker, Colorado. 10 reasons to explore and move there. Until I see you next time, peace.